Guys, I am freaking the hell out. Welcome into World War III episode number 5. We've got major stuff to get to on the Ukraine-Russian thing. We've got, Russia calling on China to potentially help with military aid. I'm going to give my take on that. I always got to talk about China. There's always going to be something about China in these videos. But guys, I found a very interesting article that dates back to August of 2021. Time to rethink Biden's anti-American energy policies. And folks, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. I think Joe Biden needs to be removed, and really all the Biden administration needs to be removed from the White House simply because they're a threat to national security. I mean, how ignorant are some of these people? What type of a bubble do they live to if they really believe that as America transitions to wind energy and solar energy, that our reliance on other countries won't enable those other countries to take advantage of our reliance on them when it comes to not being able to drill our own oil, when it comes to overall energy resources, as we do this Green New Deal and spend trillions of dollars on new, fresh, clean energy. We're going to need help from other countries. And guys, I don't know, again, what type of bubble do these people live on? Like, you have to understand something. Other countries don't like America. If there was another country out there that was like America, we wouldn't like it. It's going to be China, but there's no other country on our level. If there was another country right now that spent over $600 billion on military than the United States, do you think as an American citizen you would like that other country? So this whole idea that we have all these allies that are going to help us with energy. Energy is a national security issue, and this idea that, oh, these other countries, as we transition, we're going to need to get our energy from some other place because we don't want to pump oil in America because that's bad for the environment. That's terrible when China has double the CO2 emissions as the United States. But no, we need to commit $30 trillion to the Green New Deal. We need to be spending all this money, and then you've got the crazy thing that happened. It wasn't great, but I'm just saying politically, you could have completely taken advantage, used the pandemic, weaponized the pandemic against, you have massive sanctions against China because they're the ones that started it. They spread it everywhere. And instead of that, you got people calling Trump a racist because he called it the Chinese virus. Oh, we can't call it because it originated in China. We need an anti-Chinese movement. It's nothing against the Chinese people. It's against their government. It's a major issue. They are the number one threat to the United States. And when they spread a pandemic, not only can we not blame China, China is sitting back and just loving what's happening in America because they see America completely fractured, completely broken. And it's on record that China, they love this alt-left ideology that America has. Why wouldn't they? It is completely alt-left means less military. They want less military. They would love to be a puppet state. And we've got this article, which is just remarkable. The fact this is August 28th, 2021, and it is from The Hill. The article says there's very little room for nuance when it comes to President Biden's energy policy. The Biden administration appears to be working from one of two realities. The more charitable interpretation suggests administration officials are so overtaken with green ideology that they've lost the ability to recognize the economic, social, and environmental damage their Green New Deal like plans are causing. Less charitable take would suggest they are comfortable relying on foreign competitors. This article was from August 2021. And a few well-connected Washington insiders for energy that should be produced domestically. A reliance on other countries that other countries I'm sure love because they have all the leverage over our energy right now. This is a complete catastrophic failure by the Biden administration. We need to be completely energy independent. You think these other countries like the United States? Really? You think China likes that America spends over $700 billion on their military budget than China? Although that number is closing by the day, it's probably a lot closer than expected because the Chinese don't report accurate numbers, nor should they. If I was a Chinese official, I would tell their government, don't report that our military is massively expanding so the American people don't think anything of it. And they've done a great job with that. The Chinese have done an amazing job getting in bed with all of these massive major players when it comes to the American market, like Nike, like Apple, where all their products get produced for extremely low cost and then they upsell them in the United States. So China right now, it's just crazy to see this article and then see what's happening with gas, with Russia, with Ukraine, where in the matter of a month, the entire world, and this isn't the entire world, I'm being a bit over dramatic, but if nukes started getting launched, then the entire world. But like, we're seeing situations, they can turn to crap so quickly. This idea that as the number one superpower, we're just going to be relying on other countries' kindness when it comes to supplying our energy. Who thought this was a good idea? This is the type of critical thinking, these people, they just have no critical thinking. It's all about the Green New Deal. But it's like, if you actually cared about climate change and global warming and what was affecting and what was warming the earth, China is the number one producer of the CO2 emissions by over double the United States. The statistics are plain as day. And if you really want to help and lower the overall temperature of the earth each year, you need to talk to the Chinese before America. I'm not saying America's perfect. There are a lot of things you can improve on. I'm not saying climate change isn't real. What I am saying is there is manipulation and there's a lot of self-blame within the Democratic Party to always blame America, right? The pandemic starts in China, it spreads everywhere. What is the first Democratic talking point? It's Trump's fault. Trump's a racist for calling it the Chinese virus. That's the first talking point. And then the Republicans go back at the Democrats. We shouldn't have all these, you shouldn't be enforcing all these, things, all these mandates, things like that. It's an infringement of our rights. And then we just go into this Bermuda Triangle where Democrats hate Republicans, Republicans hate Democrats. You're on one side or the other. China is sitting back as a total communist nation with complete control over their citizens, just laughing at this, continuing to expand their military exponentially. So China is absolutely, it's crazy to see something like this. We've got another part of this article. It says, from its first days, the Biden administration has attacked and stifled America's energy production. When he was campaigning, Biden and his running mate both promised to stop fracking. Immediately after he was elected, Biden paused all oil and gas leasing on federal lands. He then killed the Keystone Pipeline and many thousands of jobs it supported, claiming the pipeline did not serve the U.S. natural interest, aka the Green New Deal. Only a few months later, he supported removing sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, handing a major energy and international policy win to the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, and the giant oil brigade. And folks, it's crazy. This is from August 2021, and you see what a disaster this is. Handing more power to Russia as they get ready to invade Ukraine. Absolutely unbelievable, horrible. Just a horrible mismanaged by the Biden administration. You see situations like this along with the Afghanistan situation. It's like they're so avoidable. With Afghanistan, you tell the government, listen, we're leaving. We need to get all of our crap. It's going to be a multi-month process, but you don't go and rush it like they did. Leave behind millions of dollars in military technology for, possible terrorist organizations. Yet they did that. So we're just seeing this administration. It's so sad. I don't like getting into the whole, Democrat, Republican, Biden, Trump. This is just personally, and it's really not even Biden. It's the administration. I was just thinking about this a few days ago. They're just using Biden as a figurehead. They're saying, direct all of your anger. If you hate anything the Democrats are doing, blame it all on Biden. He's 80 years old. He's done. We're nominating a new candidate in 2024 anyways. We're going to say he's too old. He's going to step down, whatever. The Democrats want all the blame onto Joe Biden. They're saying, listen, if you hate America, just blame Joe Biden. If you hate what we're doing, blame Joe Biden. It's when really Joe Biden is just the figurehead. He's just the guy that is able to take all of the heat because he wanted to be president and they propped him up there. Dude probably doesn't even know what time it is half the time. I mean, I've seen, even just the past few weeks, I remember seeing a video that Biden did, and just the total lack of respect for the American people. It's unacceptable from a president like that. Just the overall nonchalant dismissiveness. And then, guys, I just wanted to give everyone my take on the whole Russia asking China for military support. What does China do? What is their next step? I believe personally that China's not going to do a damn thing about giving, potential military aid to Russia. At this point, you would be completely alienating the entire West if you came out and gave some sort of military aid to Russia to help with their campaign into Ukraine. China is a very self-aware nation. They are right now on the brink of a potential absolute mega power to rival the United States. They don't want to ruffle the West's feathers right now. They're still growing. They're still building. So Russia asking China, in the future, I definitely see a China-Russia type alliance forming to rival NATO. But right now, China knows, they're self-aware enough to know we're not on America's level, but we're building and we're growing exponentially. And you can see us year after year getting closer to that level that America is on. Their economy is already almost past America as it is. They know they're close. They're not stupid. They're not just going to give aid to Russia. They're just not going to give aid to Russia and alienate all of the Western countries and turn all of the Western countries against them. My one hope, if China takes Taiwan, the American people will finally wake up and realize that China is a humongous player. Guys, if you look on any military power index, there are two superpowers in this world, the United States and China. Those are the two superpowers. That's it. It's not Russia. It's not Great Britain. It's not Japan, although Japan has a really nice military. It's the United States and it's China, and China is massively growing their military, and we should be extremely afraid because they've got humongous power over their citizens due to the way they govern, due to the communist regime they have it enables them to have massive power over their citizens, which is a huge advantage when you have a population density that China does. It's so huge. You want that communist power. If you're the leader of a country, you love communism. If you're the citizen of a country, more times than not, you love capitalism. That's what I always say when it comes to communism versus capitalism. China, maybe they lose some innovation by not having a capitalist system, but their communist system enables the government to have full control over a massive population that is rapidly expanding. It is so crazy to look at something like that. I thought this was really interesting. Ukrainian Ministry of Interior reports that a Russian soldier turned his tank over to the Ukrainians. He'll get $10,000 and the opportunity to apply for citizenship. I'm guessing citizenship of Ukraine. That's great. Defection and sabotage among the Russian military should be encouraged and scaled up. What, dude, if you're a Russian soldier and you're taking $10,000 to hand over your tank, your life is so effed at that point. What do you do? Legitimately, what do you do? Oh yeah, I can be a Ukraine citizen now. War is so ugly. It's so ugly. We've got more stuff happening here in the States. Disney's employees in California HQ stage a walkout while chanting, quote, "Say gay," to protest Florida's anti-grooming bill. Guys, what is the purpose of teaching a second or third grader about this transgender stuff? It makes no sense other than to groom them and to brainwash them. This type of thing needs to be completely rejected. And Florida comes out with a bill saying, listen, these kids are 10 years old. Could you imagine? I'm just thinking, thinking back as a second or third grader, my teacher talking about being a transgender. Teach me about math. Teach me about science. What are we doing to these young kids? There is zero logical explanation for this type of inappropriate talk in classrooms with kids this young. Okay, if they're in middle school or they're high school, that's different. Elementary school, there needs to be zero tolerance for this. And the people protesting this, you're supporting pedophilia grooming is what you're supporting. There is no reason for this. Third grade teachers do not need to be addressing and talking to their students about being transgender or being gay. It's not that I have anything against those. It is not the appropriate setting. If the parents want to bring that up, that's something you do as a parent. You don't allow these teachers to get all on a power trip and tell these kids or try and influence these kids to think a certain way about these topics. It's just completely inappropriate. And the fact that people are protesting that Florida came out and says, listen, we're not allowing this. If you're a third grade teacher, you need to teach them math. You need to teach them how to read. You need to teach them how to write. You're not going to say, we're going to read a book, and be transgender and things like that. I've got nothing against transgender. If you want to be transgender, more power to you. That's fine. I don't care. But something like this, I have zero patience for. Absolutely zero patience for teachers manipulating children and grooming kids. Absolutely zero patience. And then they have a protest that basically says, yeah, we think it's a good idea to do that. Like, are you kidding me? I saw this tweet, and this is just another thing. I saw this tweet from the Senate hearing for a Supreme Court nominee. You go on to say sex offenders are truly shunned in our society. So that's apparently what our new Supreme Court nominee said. There needs to be zero tolerance for supporting pedophiles. Zero. That is the last thing this country needs, is a Supreme Court nominee who has a tolerance for pedophilia. Saying that, if this woman seriously said, sex offenders are truly shunned in our society, no shit. You think they should be accepted? Like, what? That should disqualify you. Like, what? I feel so... Am I the weird one? Am I the weird one, guys? I really don't know, because I see this stuff and it is so ridiculous. So, why am I drained? I feel tired no matter how much I sleep. I can barely work out when I used to be able to work out daily for hours. I know a friend who feels the same the last few weeks. Any of you weirdos have a theory? Yeah, dude, I'm sleeping about 3 hours a night myself personally. Last night I probably went to bed at about 2:30, woke up at 5:15. I've been having about 3 or 4 nightmares a night on China, minimum. And, this stuff happens, and you definitely notice it when you work out. Guys, when I was 17, 18 years old, I would go to the gym. I would pound out a 3 or 4 hour workout easily. I have a friend who basically self-combusted back in 2017 because they were so convinced Trump was going to launch a nuclear war. And I was young at the time. I was like, I don't think he's doing it. I was trying to calm him down. I was like, I don't think Trump wants that. But yeah, I've had a friend that's had to get completely out of politics. It's real bad when you get so far into politics. My mom wants me to see a therapist again. I'm ordering a massive map of China. That's coming in the mail. I'm going to frame that. And just so I can map out everything. I'm actually ordering a massive map of the world. It's going to cost me about $200 or $300 to frame. But yeah, guys, there's these situations. Once you get into politics, it's really bad. And people just obsess over it. And that's the thing. You definitely notice your workouts, man. The thing is, I used to go 3 or 4 hours easily. A few days ago, I tried working out. I tried going to the gym. I did 1 set, and I'm just drained. I'm getting 3 hours of sleep a night. You can't work out like that. You really can't. You could be on 700 or 800 grams of caffeine. It won't matter. So that is something that always happens. When Trump was president, the media helped challenge everything he said. When Biden is president, the media helps explain everything he said. Isn't that odd? Well, that's just the current media structure in the United States. You've got much of the media is liberal, which will help a liberal president, help explain a liberal president. I will say CNN basically self-destructed. Like, you could say Donald Trump destroyed CNN's credibility, which I guess he did with the fake news stuff. But I remember listening to something, and someone was just like, this was like back in 2019, they were like, if CNN would just say something positive about Trump, that would like significantly help their credibility. There were positive things that Trump did. Just say something positive. Do 1 segment. Like, if you say 1 positive thing about Trump, when you say the negative stuff, it becomes more believable. Like, I just thought that was so interesting because, like, just say 1 thing positive about Trump, but they couldn't do it. And you could see, I think Trump basically single-handedly Part of it's due to their CNN's obsession. CNN was so obsessed with everything that Trump did, so obsessed with undercutting anything that Trump did. Trump's racist, Trump's the devil, Trump's this, Trump's that. And it got to the point where they got so driven, it became their identity. Like, they were the Trump haters, and if you're a so-called, you're non-biased, that's going to be a big issue. And, Trump basically destroyed CNN's credibility. Now, I mean, you watch CNN, even liberals will say, this is a left-leaning site at this point. It's just completely left, and all of their stuff is going to be, I'm not saying it wasn't left before. It was, but when Trump comes in, calls it fake news, and they go on this crazy vendetta rampage against Trump, they got so obsessive, it killed their credibility. And it's sad, but it's something that happened, guys. That is what's happening right now. The Russian war in Ukraine is still going on. I do find it interesting, just another quick thing I wanted to touch on. This idea that Russian citizens don't support this war in Ukraine. It is surprising that Putin isn't able to get more support, because at this point, if you are Russian, if you are from Russia, if you plan on staying in Russia, it is in your best interest by far that this campaign in Ukraine is successful for the Russian army. Because if it's not successful, the world is going to be a lot worse for Russia if they're not able to do what they want to do in Ukraine, take Kiev. They got really bad intel. They thought they were going to get it. They thought they were going to get support. I don't know if they thought it was going to be, Adolf Hitler invading Czechoslovakia levels of support, but I'm guessing they thought they were going to get some support from the Ukrainian people, which was a complete miscalculation, obviously. But people are like, listen, the Russian people are standing up, show them more propaganda. But it's like, if you're Russia at this point and you're a Russian citizen, like, you need Russia to win this war. You need to support this, because if they don't, Russia is facing a massively worse situation than if they are successful in Ukraine with their military. So I thought that was interesting, just the dynamic of that. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.